Battle Pass earn rate. We are back here again. I've been seeing a growing influx of people saying it feels different, either slower or faster than before, along with many questions about if that original video is still accurate, because it's a couple seasons old now, and would I recommend Warzone or multiplayer, or even co-op? What is the fastest way or easiest way to rank up the pass? Well, I did my best to get to the bottom of it. I like to lead with results to cut out the BS, but that's harder to do this time because I ran into so many weird XP bugs and strange things that are gonna take some explaining. I'll tell that story later. As my best attempt to summarize the basics, the takeaway, what you need to know, here's the chart I had back in Season 1 relating your XP per minute on the horizontal, so how fast you're earning XP, to your minutes per Battle Pass tier, meaning how quickly you're making Battle Pass progress. And they did seem to be correlated. It was clear that the Battle Pass is mainly based on time played, but clearly affected by earning more XP. You can speed it up by playing better. If you're earning XP really fast, like with the help of doing some challenges, you can get close to a tier only taking 20 minutes of gameplay, while on the other end, if you're practically AFK, a tier can take closer to an hour. And generally, you'll be in the middle, with a tier taking 37 minutes on average. Now, I've added all the data from my Season 3 testing. You'll notice it's a much bigger mess, but a lot of the outliers have interesting stories that help explain the mess. XP and progression has been acting very strange lately, but even with the bugginess, in general, it looks like nothing has really changed. No matter what mode you're playing, it doesn't seem to matter much aside from the XP rates, which I will get into, but just play what you want to play, and the more XP you're getting, the more time you can shave off the Battle Pass tiers, but you'll be making progress no matter what. I averaged my new set of numbers and got exactly 37.7 again, which is funny. It's not like that's some kind of magic number. It just happened to work out that way based on how many high XP and low XP games I chose to play, but that gives a good range for the average tier time. Another note, just like before, it seemed like double XP is not included in speeding up the pass, only base XP. These different looking games I played during happy hour double XP, so I cut the numbers in half, and that made them fall much closer to the trend. This 40.9 Spec Ops game, for example, is right on the line, but if I were to return it to the original double XP number, it would fly way out to the right. So it seems like double XP is, again, ignored, which makes total sense. That's why double XP and double tier progression are two separate buffs, and also why they don't seem to care about things like joining 10 regiments with different happy hours and swapping between them to get 10 hours of free double XP every day. So double XP looks to be irrelevant, but what about that 10% XP booster you get from buying the pass? That's something that didn't exist in Season 1, had a question about that, and all I can say is that it might count, because it does kind of bake that 10% into your base match XP. That said, there's no way to tell because it would be such a small difference. If we assume it is helping by increasing your base XP, that doesn't mean you earn tiers 10% faster, because XP to tiers is not 1-to-1. It actually means you would move 10% horizontally on this chart, like from 2000 XP per minute to 2200, and that vertical difference of a bit over a minute would be the time you save per tier. So more like 2 to 5% faster tier progression from that buff. Not a lot, and it might not actually be helping at all. If you know you're going to get your value from the pass, you may as well buy it early, but if you want to wait and see how far you get before buying it, like to make sure you get your 1,000 points back, that is still a smart idea. Now, moving on to looking at the best sources of XP, some investigation into AFK, and more explanation on all the bugs I ran into. XP in the Battle Pass right now is weird. It is generally working, and the average player probably won't notice anything wrong, but the numbers are all over the place. Occasionally, a game will give you barely any XP for seemingly no reason, or sometimes it'll give you way too much. It goes both ways. So they're not trying to cheat you out of XP, it just seems flaky. As if sometimes when they're having server trouble, even if the game stays up, all of their progression systems can seemingly go down or be spotty. Like challenges tracking, XP, and Battle Pass can independently stop working sometimes. It's been getting better, but I remember it being especially bad over that double everything weekend at the end of Season 2. They even extended the event because of those progression issues. I think the best way to explain everything is to just go through all the games I played for the testing and tell the story. The video is going to get less concise from here on out. You've been warned. You're welcome to hang out and learn some more stuff about XP and bugs. I just don't know how I can summarize all the little anomalies. I recorded 20 games, which sounds like not a lot, but it takes a surprisingly long time. There were a few co-op and multiplayer games to check that they're the same as before, but the focus was more on Warzone, with it being the new thing saying I haven't tested yet. Starting with the co-op, there were 2 high XP games, one being a normal, full Kuvalda playthrough, went well, I did a lot of the objective work, nothing special, and the other being a short run-through of the beginning of Crosswind, where we rushed the objective and then died. Both had a very high XP rate, you'd have to be pretty good in multiplayer to match that, so co-op is very solid for a chill XP and Battle Pass grind if you feel like it and don't need weapon XP. And then there were 2 low XP games to show the full range of co-op. These are still pretty decent when compared to multiplayer though. These were lower because I was admittedly not helping very much. I was running around picking up the intel, so I killed some people I ran into and got some shared objective XP, but clearly not as much as if I were actually playing. Anyway, those XP rates correlated nicely to the Battle Pass. Co-op didn't have any crazy stuff going on. Multiplayer, I also don't need to spend much time explaining, did some above average games, and some not so hot. The final hardpoint game especially, I tried to line up some challenges, got the sentry and airdrop challenge done, a couple mission steps, played a bit better than the others. It still wasn't an incredible game or anything, but that was the highest XP rate in the entire test, as well as the fastest Battle Pass earn rate. Warzone is where things get very interesting. Starting with the Battle Royale, I went in thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to test going AFK to see what the limits are. I don't particularly want to recommend that people AFK, but at least you can drop solo so you aren't ruining the game for anyone like you would in multiplayer. It only becomes a problem if too many people start AFKing like in Blackout, when they had to add some additional measures to prevent pass farming. Well, in this game, if you drop somewhere and don't go anywhere from where you drop, you are going to get kicked for AFK. Fair enough. However, if you go somewhere and pick something up or interact with something, that seems to make you completely safe from the kick for the rest of the game. Which is important because there can be some waiting around in Warzone. This is very similar to Blackout's AFK system at launch, where just picking something up made you unkickable. On to the first game then. I'll only tell the full story of this one because it was pretty funny and also significant for the Battle Pass. I picked up a gun and went prone. The tactical gameplay had begun. Fast forward a while and oh no, someone found me. I would have chosen a less hot location, but I think I had a mission step for starting a contract at airport. I respawned though and went to hide somewhere in the middle of the news circle. Train station roof it was. Fast forward again to gas time. I walked along with it, picked up some more stuff, got in a new house, and sat in the bathroom. The time eventually came to leave. I was coming up behind some people and a free loadout. Cool. I guess I should shoot him. And goddamn, that dude was loaded, dropped 18k. Sorry about that. Took the loadout, cause why not? And went AFK. Of course, there's a dude in a helicopter and truck zooming around in typical Solos fashion, although I heard they removed trucks from Solos now to help with that. Anyway, these assholes think they can get away with it, cause in Solos, nobody's ballsy enough to give away their location. Had to show him what's what. May as well take the mask and UAV off that guy. I moved with the gas again and went AFK again. When I looked back at my screen later, there was a guy there. Oh, dang, guess I should shoot him too. Sorry about that, man. I don't normally camp this much, but you know, sticking with the AFK theme. Now I figured I should probably just win the game. Went around behind the guy I saw on UAV earlier, then had Truckman to deal with because I was sure as hell not dying to a goddamn truck. The other guy ran behind a rock, and I was still missing the truck. Very annoying. Just gotta keep that launcher loaded though. Screw you, Truckman. And then the final guy had to die, which is no problem. And that's how you accidentally win the game, by trying to test AFKing. That is what I was saying back in the Warzone review about how when the loadout gives you everything you need to become top tier, not just guns, but equipment and perks, you really don't need to do anything to become as powerful as everyone else. Minus self-revive, but there's hardly an incentive to fight anyone ever when you can't buy more perks or upgrades, like carrying more armor, you can't loot anything useful by killing people, you often only lose armor that you can't rebuy late game, so camping and keeping your armor is almost always the easier way to win. I don't really play solos, but I've stumbled into a few solo wins now just by testing AFK. But they weren't part of this test, so let's get back to the main topic at hand. I got 0 Battle Pass progress for that game. Fascinating. I got XP and everything. The end of the game said 16,705. The match summary said 18,598 plus a challenge bonus. I actually don't know where that number came from because 16,705 times the 10% XP boost is 18,375. So I got 222 XP from nowhere. But okay then. The Battle Pass didn't move though. I have a couple theories for that. One is that this is just one of those times that progression bugged out and the pass gave nothing. That actually happened once in the Season 1 test as well. There was a shoot house game that gave me no progress for seemingly no reason. So maybe 1 in 20 games or so, you just get no Battle Pass progress because screw you. Or another possibility relates to the way I went AFK at the beginning. I've had a theory that is backed up by some of my experience and my friends who've tried it. It seems to matter if you go AFK really quickly after you land versus being active for a bit longer before going AFK. Maybe I went AFK too close to my landing spot too quickly, and that disqualified me from the battle pass somehow. Kinda like how with the Blackout update, where if you went AFK anywhere at any point, you would get kicked out of the battle pass even though you wouldn't get kicked from the game. Well, one of those things happened. Let's finally get off this game and go through some other weird stuff. Game 2 had a completely different problem. I wanted a crappier game, so I got a kill at Dam, flew across the entire map, and went full AFK until someone eventually found me with their heartbeat and killed me. I left during the XP adding up thing, and then the match summary said I only got a couple thousand XP, which is impossibly low. Survival time XP is always higher than that. At first I was worried that I left too quickly or something, and that cut off my XP, but we leave quickly all the time and there's no problem. And in terms of Battle Pass progress, the rate of about 35 minutes per tier suggests that I got a full amount of XP from that game, like somewhere around 20,000. So I have no idea, just got screwed out of XP that time, but not the Battle Pass. Game 3 was finally pretty normal. There was still a massive amount of AFK waiting around, but I can never resist kills when they're just handed to me. I died, came back, and continued to hide until eventually dying. I didn't wait for the full XP to add up again, but the match summary said I got a hearty 28k XP with some big challenge bonuses in there, and I got big battle pass progression from that as well. So clearly you can AFK mid-match for long stretches of time, and it doesn't matter. Game 4 went back to broken again though. This time I was super committed to full AFK. I wanted a 0-kill game, even somehow lived through someone hunting me. They gave up, maybe thought I was on the roof somewhere. I walked with the circle, avoiding everyone. I even dumped my ammo because I knew I wasn't gonna need it, I wasn't gonna fight, but at the end it was the damn truck guy that broke me. I can't just let them drive around in that final circle feeling all invincible. I gotta blow them up. So I did that, ruined my 0-kill test, killed another guy jumping down, and then couldn't reload because I dumped all my ammo earlier and proceeded to lose. I think that was an easy win if I just had ammo. But who cares? What matters is that I remembered I gotta stay here and watch the XP add up. I need to see what's going on. 14,000 XP, huh? Alright, what did I actually get? Oh, 2,000. There's almost always a huge disconnect between what you should get and what you actually get. And I did still make normal Battle Pass progress for that game, but this time it matched up a lot better with a low XP game as opposed to the other low XP game where the rate was unusually fast. This was the slowest Battle Pass progress of the entire test at 54 minutes per tier. Game 5 was broken yet again, but in an entirely new way. I started playing some Warzone for real with friends, no more long stretches of AFK. Now this is fully active playing. We won our first game, nothing very exciting happened, got a few kills, redeployed at the end. The last team got kinda stuck and wrecked by the gas. The XP adder-upper said I should get 19,000 XP for that, and with the full breakdown right there, I'm inclined to believe that. But do you think the match summary is gonna agree? No. Good, you're catching on. I actually got 34,000 XP plus 10,000 of challenges, which I don't remember doing, but maybe it was some weekly, plus a 300 contract bonus. I don't even know why that's a separate thing, but that's what I mean when I said the bug goes both ways. It isn't always screwing you over, it just isn't correct. The very next game was another great example. It didn't go as well, got some kills though, wrecked some vehicle guy, never gets old, and then got wrecked on the hill. Now we didn't stay for the full XP add up, but based on my kills and our positioning, I would guess that should have been another roughly 20k XP. What does the match summary say? Drum roll please. 42,000 plus another 10k challenge apparently. Don't know where those keep coming from. There is no happy hour, no tokens for any of this, nothing. Just crazy XP for no reason. Am I being given XP that I was previously owed from the games that gave me too little? At least it's balancing itself out, I have no idea. And this did result in fast Battle Pass progress, although the games are so long that the XP per minute was still a bit lower than that one big multiplayer game. Anyway, there was one final group Warzone game on here to prove that they aren't all bugged like this. The end of the game said 15,804, the match summary said 17,384, What do you know? That is exactly 10% higher, as it should be. Oh my god, it was actually correct for once. How can that be? Alright, let's move on to the 3 Plunder games I did, and then be done with this. The first one was, of course, a full AFK game. I had to try it. I landed, picked up a couple cash piles and a gun, kept on running, and went prone back here about 3 minutes into the game. About 11 minutes later, somebody won, then 3 minutes more of overtime, and that was it. Mission complete. Hell yeah. And I got 12,000 XP for existing, even though I literally got the AFK accolade for moving the least. Hilarious. Well, let's see if I actually got that much XP, and yeah, 12,750, which is exactly 10% higher. Perfect match. And that means 670 XP per minute. That's a respectable rate for doing literally nothing. It's obviously lower than most things, but higher than playing kinda bad in multiplayer, and the Battle Pass progression did roughly match that XP, so Plunder AFK, as much as I said I didn't want to be recommending it, seems incredibly viable. There is no gas to worry about, so you can hang out at the edge, super easy stuff, you get about 15 minutes of doing nothing at all. At least I've buried this tip near the end here, after tons of repetitive commentary. Nobody's still watching. I think you may need to be active for the first couple minutes for the game to count properly, and it may still be inconsistent, but there you go. There's a pretty spicy farming method if you need one. If you're gonna do all the ribbon challenges, or play Warzone for fun much, or you're gonna check out that camo update in a few weeks, you probably don't need to do this. But if you really want those rewards and have a lot of work to do, or you want to multitask, yeah, you can be doing that in the background. Just make sure to turn Phil off so that you'll be solo, don't get a team, and then be an AFK asshole. Speaking of getting a team though, I did want to test actual Plunder gameplay, matched with a team of some Xbox folks. We apparently could not agree on a contract or a place to land, but I started wandering around, just looting stuff, and when people attacked me, I killed them, and I started to realize that the people I was facing, to put it bluntly, didn't seem very good. I wouldn't call it a full-on bot lobby, but clearly people were not very accurate. I'm used to getting absolutely melted, and as I ran into more and more fights, I became more and more confident that I was just invincible. I did not belong in this game, and I did not do anything to try to get in it, but apparently one game of AFK was enough to put me here. I have no idea. Such is the struggle with a ridiculous, abusable matchmaking system. We pretty easily ended up winning, and the whole thing ended with a massive, crazy showdown in Storage Town where people tried and failed to shoot rockets at me several times, kept hitting the side of this building, and then later, they couldn't land one in this little hut to kill me. I really had some kind of bubble of protection around me the whole game. I didn't realize till later that I never died, not typically the case for a Plunder game. Anyway, look at those juicy XP totals, 45k. Hell yeah, good game. What do I actually get though? Oh, 22k. I didn't know it was a half XP weekend, plus about 10k in challenges. Darn. Well, okay then. I went for one final game of Plunder. This time the team agreed on a contract. Alright, these people seem like they know what they're doing. And yeah, everyone in this game seemed more like what I'm used to. We did okay, did some killing, did some dying, held a top spot for a bit, but we let that slide. Ended up with a pretty average Plunder game, which was perfect to end the testing with. 25k XP, supposedly. And in the match summary, actually 37k XP. But wait, that's with happy hour double XP. If I watch the XP circle, it looks like I actually got 18k XP as the base, and that got doubled. 25k is nowhere to be seen though. Alright then, who really knows? I think I should be ending this video. Hope you found that wandering journey through all the various bugs I ran into somewhat interesting. To summarize it all, the Warzone XP breakdown is nice in theory, but often doesn't mean anything because the match summary decides your fate in the end. The Battle Pass can also decide to not give you progress sometimes. I feel like at the Warzone launch that was happening a lot, especially with Plunder, because I remember thinking that Plunder gave horrible Battle Pass progress, and other people were saying the same thing, so I figured they did that maybe as some kind of lazy solution to the fact that it would be a very easy mode to AFK in, and my friends and I avoided it for a while because of that. But it turns out Plunder seems okay for the Battle Pass. It was maybe just a buggy time for progression. And it is better now, but still messes up here and there. I still get many people saying they get no progress for Plunder matches, so I don't entirely know what's going on there. At the end of the day, despite the mixed bag of issues, you will be leveling up, you will be earning battle pass stuff. It seems to roughly even out in the end. And to summarize everything from earlier, before this video fell apart, nothing has really changed in regards to earn rate. Call it 35 to 40 minutes, varying more with XP. So I'd say the battle pass is still a very fair system for content delivery. Really hard to complain about it when all the actual DLC is free. You can choose to pay for these cosmetics or not, it doesn't matter. And if you don't want there to be any grind element, then buy from the shop instead. I got some weird comments from the last time I did the battle pass thing. People who say they bought the battle pass, so they're entitled to get everything in it. Well, no, that isn't what you bought. You bought access to grind it, and that's exactly what you got. So get to grinding. I like the fact that you have to put in some level of effort to get these. That's what gives a tier 100 item value to me. I don't care about cosmetics otherwise, and honestly I hardly care about these. It is more or less just playtime you have to put in each season. I might not even buy the pass either, except for how you earn back all your points and then some. Yeah, hard to complain. I think it'd be fair to call it boring. Like, I don't find battle passes engaging at all. It just happens in the background, but that's fine. Hopefully the game is what has enough merit to keep your interest. And there are no loot boxes to worry about. The guns are free and low in the tiers and earnable through challenges for previous seasons. All good stuff. Hopefully they can iron out the confusing progression bugs and have everything just work instead of the mess of XP I had to wade through and then cram into this video for some reason. Probably could have cut all that out and kept it simple. But somehow you're still here. Nice. You're pretty cool. Yeah, I got nothing else. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.